Hi everybody, it's Judy here at River City Sewing, bringing you the first of our news for 2025. At River City Sewing, we're back on deck and we're here going full force into our new creative year for 2025. Our classes have started again this week, and we are gearing ourselves up for the rest of 2025 with lots of fun things happening in store. A lot of those new classes are already up online. There's only a few left to be finalised, and then we can give you a big overview of what's going to be happening in store in 2025. So we've done a little bit of a zhuzh to clear out Christmas and to give the store a bit of a refresh. So the girls have done a little bit, a bit of a re-zhuzh here, and as you can see, we've got our Q16 Plus down here on the floor of the showroom. Now, it's not very often we get, with the two levels. It's sometimes people forget that we have our long arm centre upstairs. So we've decided to bring a little bit of it down here to the floor. Now, the reason we brought the Q16 Plus down on the floor is because Benina are doing a special during January. So we thought we may as well, we've done the zhuzh and we've moved everything around and got a bit more space. So now we're showcasing the Q series and our long arm centre here at the store. So never been a better time to get quilting. There's always a good time to get started. So if you are thinking about quilting machines, then why not come in? If you've never seen a Q series or a long arm up close, don't you come in and have a look at this one here at the store. Now, this particular one, we have it on what we call a hydraulic lift table. Now, the special offer that's available right now is on what we call a foldable or adjustable table. So it's just a tabletop the machine sits in, and if you haven't got a lot of space, you can fold the leaves of the table up, and it doesn't take up a lot of room. However, the upgrade that you can do for that is for this hydraulic lift. Now, I'm going to show you how tall and how this machine works, and how this table works. So it's motorized, and it has a lifter that moves the bed of the machine up or down depending on where you want to either sit, or whether you want to stand, or whether it adjusts to your height or how you feel about what height you want to do quilting. Okay, so let me give you an example. I'm going to just angle this camera a little bit down. That's a bit better. All right, so here we are. I've got this drafting chair and I'm sitting here, so I'm thinking, yeah, that's a good height. But if I get a little bit tired of sitting and I want to stand for a while, I can move just with the button the height of the table up, so I can just take a bit of time and stand. If I want to sit or use a different chair, I can then move it down. So there's a couple of different memory settings in here that you can put it onto, but it saves you having to find the right size chair if you feel like you want to sit a little bit higher as you're quilting, or if you want to sit a little bit, you want to drop it down a little bit lower to drop your shoulders and your hands. You can change the height of the table rather than you change the height of your seat or those kinds of things. So it's very flexible. It has two leaves that sit on either end of the table. I've got one down here at the moment, but one up. But you can see it just makes that area so much bigger that you can quilt with. So if you don't have a lot of room, you'd love a long arm, but you don't have a lot of room, but you can't put a frame in, then this might be a really good situation to be in, because it's the Q16 Plus with the adjustable table, which is not this table, it's just the fixed one, is $9,999. Now that includes the dealer delivery. Okay, so if you're in Brisbane, we deliver it for you. If you want to upgrade to the hydraulic table, it's an extra $3,200. But I would suggest to you, if you don't have a ability to have a frame, having this table is going to make a hell of a lot of difference to you, because you're not going to be adjusting, having to get multiple chairs, or getting tired of being in the one position all the time. So it really is a great upgrade to put on that machine. And then you've got a 16-inch long arm ready for you to do those particular projects that you want to finish, whether it's small runners, whether you're doing bags and you want to quilt the fabric first, it can do it for you. Lots of different things you can do, couching, you can do lots of different things with this type of long arm. And the table, it will fit if you're thinking about a Q20. That if you're thinking, oh, maybe I want to go a bit bigger than the Q16, maybe I want to go the Q20. Well, this particular table, you can put a Q20 in there. Okay, so we put the Q16 Plus because we changed out our demo models, and we thought, oh well, we've got a Q24 on the Q-Matic upstairs, and the Q16 gives you an idea of just how big a 16-inch machine is. For a sit down is really quite a lot of fun. Now, the other feature of the hydraulic lift table is that there's got some storage built into it, so just hope I don't knock the camera over. There's inbuilt little pockets in there that have a clear Perspex top. Now, we haven't taken the special film off these yet, but it just sits so that you have a completely flat surface there that you can put all your bits and bobs in, whether it's extra feed or your bobbins or your maintenance kit or rulers or whatever. There's 4 of these on the table, and there's also a little shelf underneath there, so for things like your scissors and stuff like that you want to get access to really well, they're underneath. So I think it's a great package for anyone who wants to quilt but doesn't have a lot of room, but they would still like to do their own quilting. And yes, it is free motion embroidery, so you are moving the quilt underneath the stationary machine, so it's not like a frame. So frames, we move the head of the machine. This one, we're moving our fabric and drawing with our thread underneath. So if you would love to be able to finish your own quilts and you don't want to spend, you haven't got the money or you haven't got the space to go into a full-blown automated long arm, well, this might be a really good option for you, just to have that flexibility. Now, the good thing is, if something changes and you think, okay, can I take that machine out of that table and then put it on a frame if I chose to do that later? Yes, you can. There is a studio frame which is available to put the Q16 Plus on, and you can either have it as a 5-foot frame or a 10-foot frame. We'd always recommend that you get the bigger of the two, if space permits, because that allows you to do a bigger quilt in one go. All right, and that's available too. So there is always an upgrade path if you wanted to go that way. So if you started with this and then things change and you think, yeah, now I've got a great sewing room, I want to put this machine on a frame so that I can take the weight of my quilts on the frame, and then maybe later on you think, right, I've done all this for a while, now I want to automate it and put my own computer system on there. Yes, we can do that as well on the studio frame. So you're never locked in of what you can do with the Q series. So there's always a progression that you can do. It just depends on the size of the machine and the type of frame that you want to use. But this is a great option for, you got your sewing room, you've just got enough room to get a machine just in there, you don't have room for a frame, then this is a really good option. Especially, I would recommend that you get this hydraulic lift table, because it's going to make your life so much easier. It's going to be easier on your body, easier to, for all of us who, sometimes we need to stand or have our bodies in a different position when we're quilting, depending on the weight of the quilt. This would be a really good option. So come on in. It's downstairs here in the showroom, right next to our beautiful B990 right here. So it's on sale. The Q16 Plus is on sale for January for Benina. So now's a good time. Why not come in and have a look around? And it's well worth a look, well worth a bit of a try. We've got it all ready here for you to set up and just, try the Q20, try the Q16 Plus. I'm used to saying Q20 because we've always had one of those upstairs, but we've changed it out. But it's good to see how the machine works, you know, how wonderful it feels, and just how this hydraulic lift table will make a difference to your quilting. So come in and have a look. So what we've got, like we said, we've zhuzhed around so that we get a little bit of a revamp in the store. There's a few things I want to show you today, just to get our year kicked off really, really well. So I'm going to move camera and show you another thing on our agenda for this year. So what's happening that's new in 2025? Well, we do have our new Kimberbell digital dealer exclusives that have started for the year, and the quilt is called Wallflower, and it's a mystery. Okay, it's a mystery. So we don't know what the final thing looks like. We've only seen a blurred out picture of what this is going to be like. I can give you a hint that it's, you know, that we've got January's blocks here already. So it's floral, it's gardenish, I guess, because it's called Wallflower. And this is the setup for that Kimberbell have sent us, a little banner to put up on the wall to show you what's happening with the mystery quilt as the months progress. So when you sign up for the mystery quilt, you can either sign up to do a season pass, which I've made the price really competitive for you. So you get all of the blocks, including this little bonus ladybird block, and you'll get every block every month until the end of 2025. It basically happens that you go into our club with Kimberbell, you pay your season pass with us here at the store, and then we put you in our club at Kimberbell, and then all happens in the background at the beginning of the month. Every month you will get your designs delivered to your Kimberbell account, so you can download them at your leisure and then complete the block. So this was the first block. This is your first block, which is a ladybird, and it is so pretty. And in each block there is a little bit of technique. Okay, so this one had some foam, you know, the flexi foam underneath it, so it puffed up the ladybird's wings. Okay, so when she opened her wings, you could feel that there's a little bit more, got a little bit more raised texture there. Each one's got a little bit of an embellishment. Now, for those of you who have done Kimberbell quilts in the past, you would have leftover embellishments and things like that. This is a really good way to use all of those up. Okay, there is, we're looking to put together, Sophia and I have been having a chat about putting together a kit of embellishments for those of you who don't have all those kinds of things, but anyone who's done Kimberbell for a while would have a lot of the small pieces of embellishment items that you would need to complete this. Now, there is no kit available for the fabric, although we could kit it out for you if you'd like, but many of you, like we said, Kimberbell lovers, would have fabric left over from a lot of different things. However, it doesn't have to be Kimberbell fabric that you use. You could use anything out of your stash to do this with. All right, and if you think, okay, I'm going to use my stash, Jude, but I need some of those embellishments, and some of those extra little things to make this quilt pop, then you need to give us a call, and we can organise to get you our River City like embellishment kit that we put together for you to get this quilt completed. All right, so Sophia's doing this for me. She's been doing the blocks for me. So how it works, like we said, every month, the best way to do it is to sign up for your season pass. That way you've done. It's $15 a month for the designs, or if you sign up for the season pass, it comes out at a little bit over $10 a month. Okay, it's $129 for the full season. So that allows me to just allocate that, put you in our club. Everything's done for the year. All you got to do is wait for your designs to come out each month. Okay, you'll get one design each month. Your instructions and everything are delivered by Kimberbell. All right. So if you only want, say you looked at this design when you come in the store and said, look, I don't really do the whole quilt, but I like the flower design that's January, you can just buy January. You don't have to buy the whole thing. So it just costs you $15, and then we allocate one of the licenses to you, and you can download from Kimberbell again. Okay. Now you can't go online to kimberbell.com and buy this. It is a dealer exclusive, so you have to come and buy it here from us at our store, and we'd love you to do that. If you're out of Brisbane, and I know many of you watch the video outside of Brisbane because you tell me when we're out and about, this is something that you can be part of with the store, that you can purchase your season pass, and I'm going to put that link into the email, and I'm also going to put a link on the website that you can buy your season pass, and then we'll allocate you your Kimberbell, your first January design and the Ladybird design, and then from then on it'll be automatically allocated to you. Now you just got to remember, when you are coming in and doing this and you're buying the season pass or you're buying a design, that the email address that you have at Kimberbell is the one we need to use. You have to tell me if you have a special email for that, if you have your regular email for that. It's just because that's how we allocate your designs, is through your email with them. So if you're not sure, come in and have a talk to the team here. They'll be able to explain everything about that. But it's going to be a lot of fun. So I challenge all of you outside of Brisbane who watch this, if you have an embroidery machine and you've got a stash that you would like to use up. Now, some of these items that you need in here are just little decorative items. You don't really need a lot of new things. Some of them uses Mylar. Some of them uses little flexi foam, like the Bianni's foam, you know, that bit of foam. Some use lace, some have dimensional aspects, some have a little bit of vinyl. All right, so these are, and some, you know, there's lots of those little fun embellishments that Kimberbell like to do, like glitter, iron-on glitter and all that kind of stuff. So you don't have to always put those embellishments on. It will make your quilt look a little bit sparkly and a little bit more embellished, but you don't necessarily need to have them on. Okay, but if you want to have a little bit of fun this year and enjoy a Block of the Month embroidery club, then this is the one that you need to do. So all of you outside of Brisbane, all of you in Brisbane, I'd recommend that if you want to have a bit of fun and get out that embroidery machine and have a little bit of a go, use your stash or use some of your Kimberbell fabric up, then why not join in? Okay, so the whole quilt with all the instructions for the season pass is $129. Start now. I mean, if you don't start until February, that's fine. Now, $129 will cover your January designs and the rest of the year as well. So you'll get all of the designs. Okay, so you can start anytime. There's no excuse not to start. Even if you can't start in January, it doesn't mean you can have those Kimberbell designs sitting there for you when you're ready to go. So get in and get started and have a look, and we'll be showcasing this as we go through each month. So this was our first design, that when you sign up you get the first design, which is Ladybird. This one here is the January design, and it is a flower, applique flower, and it's quite pretty. So and you've got 2 blocks that you do each time. So, and they tell us up here where the placement is. So as this goes through, you'll get a little bit more information about the placement and all that kind of stuff once you build all your blocks together. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Join in and enjoy doing a little bit of a mystery this year with Kimberbell and this wallflower quilt. So the much anticipated River City Sampler quilt project for 2025. Now, originally I had this up online and I made a boo-boo. I wanted to use a quilt that I designed for this particular project. And I pulled a quilt that we did many years ago, and I thought, great, we've got a sample already done, we've got the notes already done. However, for the plan that I had for this year's Block of the Month sampler, my old quilt didn't work, and I only realised it only a few days ago. So Jackie and I have been madly getting the quilt designed, notes written, blocks sewn, and sample made over the last 4 days. And we're getting to the construction stage of the whole quilt right now. So this block of the month sampler is going back to basics. We're going right back to the beginning, and it's going to be quite, for an experienced quilter, it's going to be quite an easy quilt, but sometimes we need that, and sometimes we need to go back to basics and relearn some of those really good foundations for quilting and our seams and rotary cutting and all those kinds of things. All right, so this quilt is designed that I wanted it to be that if you could cut it out 3 different ways. Whichever way you start, you continue with it. All right, so if you have AccuQuilt cube, an 8-inch cube, which is the most common, you could use that. If you had Marty Michelle templates, say you did Jackie's class last year, or if you've done any of our block of the months previously in the time we've had the business, we've done Marty Michelle templates different times, you could use those to make the quilt with. Or if you didn't have any of those and you just wanted to rotary cut it, we wanted to be able to give you those instructions as well. So it's the same quilt cut out 3 different ways to get the same result. So that's what we wanted to achieve with this particular quilt. So as you can see, I'm in the construction area right now, trying to get this done before the weekend, so we've got everything finished. But I wanted to give you a little bit of a sneak peek of some of our blocks. So these are, I've done it in blue just so that you can see the color placements, and blue, white, and a dark blue. We are going back to basics, and we are going to be making these blocks are 8-inch. The quilt is called Happier Times, and we look forward to having a great happy time with this in 2025. So there are 12 of these blocks, some filler blocks and borders. So we'll be going right through the process of looking at cutting, how you can cut, how easy it is to, if you haven't used your AccuQuilt cube, it's designed, this quilt's designed for it. If you haven't used your templates in a little while, want to grab them out, then you can use those. So there's a big variety, different ways that you can do it. We would recommend that if the way you start is the way you finish. So if you're going to start it with your rotary cutting, finish it that way. If you're going to start with your AccuQuilt, finish cutting everything. And I can tell you, honestly, the AccuQuilt is so much simpler to use because you're just throwing your fabric through there and just everything's cutting out multiple layers at a time, which is great. But we've done our whole quilt with the rotary cutting instructions just so that we can check them and make sure that they're okay. And we can check our measurements, and we can check how much fabric you have left over and all those kinds of things to make sure everything's good. So yes, it's Happier Times, and we're doing it in these fun colors. So this is one of our blocks. And it's been quite fun for us because we've gone back to basics too, and being a little bit strict with our rotary cutting and our measurements and all those kinds of things. So it works out quite fun. And it's going to, I think it looks very much like a beautiful mosaic floor, like you see. I reckoned it like we saw the floors of Venice, where you see all of the different tiles on the floor, and you see all those quilt patterns. Well, that's what this one the design looks like, and you'll get a bit of a sneak peek of that. As we finish the sample, you'll get a big view of that next week. So that class will go up again into the calendar next week. So that should be a lot of fun. So for those of you who've been asking, okay, this is what it looks like. To finish the middle, it's almost like you need a 3 meter piece of fabric, because we've just worked out that every of those 3 colors to do the middle is almost like a meter, which is really good, really a lot of fun. So if you bought any of those 3 meter bundles, you may get that quilt out of this and have a bit of a different border fabric, which will be a lot of fun. So why not keep your eyes peeled? But if you like the idea of going back to basics and doing some basic foundational quilting or if you're new to quilting and you've always wanted to do something quite fun and simple, then this sampler class is going to be a lot of fun for you. Now, if you're the blocks aren't hard, they don't take too long. There's not a lot of small piecing in it. The smallest pieces, I probably think this one is probably the block with the most amount of pieces, but this half square triangle here is the smallest size that's in these blocks. And you have a few of these really large filler blocks, okay? So a lot of it is just good sewing, maybe getting back to good technique and things like that. So the 2025 sampler, like I said, is going to happen on a Saturday, and there'll be specific days in Ali's Thursday morning class that you'll be able to do the sampler. We're going to dedicate one of her Thursday morning classes to provide you with the notes for that particular class. So if you sign up for your Saturday, stay with you this Saturday. If you can't get in on the Saturday and you can only get in through the week, then you could sign up for the Thursday class in that one. All right. But the principle is the same. If you want to get out that AccuQuilt, or you want to get out those Marty Michelle templates, then this is a really good one. So Happier Times is starting soon here at the store. And once just as a note, we do have one more class of our 2024 sampler as well coming up. And I'm just going to turn the camera around, because that was our 2024 sampler. Obviously a little bit more intricate, a little bit more depth to it, but we've had people that are saying, oh, we would love to have done that, we've missed it. Well, we're going to get Names of Interest to do a rerun of the 2024 sampler again, because a lot of you loved it but missed out. So if you call us and put your name on the list of Names of Interest to do this one again, there's two samplers. We could have two samplers running, the 2025 easy one, or you could get more intricate and get into the rerun of our last year's sampler. Now, the girls that were doing this, if you're watching, don't forget because Jackie wasn't well in December, we've got one more class of this happening. So we've got to close this one off and have that one done before we can start on the new sampler. So that'll be in January. You'll see you've all been advised of the date. So I think it's January the 18th. But take a look at your reminders, and we'll get that one sorted, and then we'll get stuck into the new year with something new. But if you've got any questions about any of the classes, don't forget, all of them are up online right now. There's a few more still coming up. There's some special events we're putting up. But the sampler is the one that I had to remove because we've changed the quilt. Now as we've finished doing all the blocks and starting the construction, we'll have a new picture of that going up in the next day or two, so that you can start booking in for our new Happier Times blue. Well, I call it the blue one, but you can do it in whatever colour you want, because we're going to be able to recolour that quilt into any fabric that you choose. All right, so there's using lots of the fun things we use here at the store to make sure that your choices are the choices you make. You can see in your plan for your sampler quilt. So that's going to be a lot of fun too, using things like EQ8, recoloring. We're going to be using, like we said, lots of different techniques. So samplers are great. But if you're thinking that you might want to get a little bit of practice in first, why not book yourself into one of Ali's classes and sit in on just a patchwork, either Monday morning, Monday afternoon, Thursday evening, or Thursday morning. That's going to give you a good grounding if you want to brush up on a few of those skills before the sampler starts. So lots of patchwork happening, lots of other classes as well, but take a look at that newsletter and the booking page, because a lot of them are up there now. So I better get back to sewing, which is really nice for me, but a little bit of a treat. So I'm going to get back to sewing before the stores open. So at the moment it's 7 o'clock in the morning. I'm here doing this so I can get sewing. So thanks for watching. Looking forward to seeing you in store. Come and have a look at the zhuzh that the girls have done outside. I think we've done amazing things. Come and have a look at that Q16 Plus. And that way you can get a closer look at, that table and how it moves. and maybe set up your sewing room a little bit different and treat yourself to a great sewing room for 2025. Don't forget to take a stash take of some of those items that you might have run down on during the year. If you want a creative year this year, take stock of what you've got in your stash, what you really need to move on, what you need to finish, get out those UFOs. There's a sit and sew here on Friday if you need some time to focus on getting some of those UFOs done. A sit and sew is on Friday all day here with us, so you might want to book yourself in for that. You got the use of our classroom for most of the day on Friday, so it might be a good time to knuckle in and knock off a few of those projects that have been hanging around for a little while. So have a look on the booking page and get yourself booked. If you're in the market for a machine, there's still some specials happening, so why not call in and see us? We're always happy to try and get you the best machine available for what you need. Don't forget, we've got access to nearly 200 different models here. We may not have them all on the floor, but we can certainly give you the right advice and get the right machine for what you need for your particular needs. Now, some of the brands haven't opened their warehouses until mid to late this week. So if you had an order in, it may have been that it's been delayed a little bit over the Christmas break because of, warehouse closures, and we got reopened again on Monday. So things are starting to open up now, so we can start to get new deliveries in. I know there's a few machines due today that were ordered just before Christmas, so hopefully you'll all get sewing very, very soon. So if you're in the market for a machine, still a good time to come in and have a look around. There's a few items still on sale, and we can always do you a great offer here at River City Sewing. So I better get moving back to sewing. So from Judy and all the team, thanks for watching. Look forward to seeing you in store really, really soon. If you have any questions about anything you saw here, or if you want more information about anything like that, the sampler, the Q series, or any of the other bits and pieces, or the Kimberbell mystery quilt, then give our team a call here. They'll certainly be able to help you get that sorted out. So until next time, bye for now.